Today I would like to do a review of what a baseball card set has. In other words, sometimes when you're a new collector of baseball cards, or maybe you just collect every now and then, one of my boys was asking me some questions, some very basic questions, and I thought, to somebody that's 10 or 15 years old, they don't really understand, or maybe somebody that's older who wants to get into baseball cards. How exactly do you tell what you have got in a pack? So this is Topps Series 1 of 2025. There are multiple drops, if you will. So Series 1 is the first one. And then during the season, they come out with Series 2. And then after Series 2, they do what's called an update series. Adds a bunch of rookies throughout the year that didn't play to start the season, but they played enough games to warrant a baseball card. And then, and that's just part of it. And then they come out with Stadium Club, and then usually a holiday series, and they do, some type of heritage or archive after that. But this being March of 2025, we're in Series 1 right now, and I wanted to show you the difference between the types of cards. And again, not every single card that can be pulled from a pack is here, but this is the basics. So number one, they have 350 numbered cards in Series 1. So what that entails of is, this is a stack of base cards here. They're called base cards. And let's just pull an Evan Carter card here. So Evan Carter is a rookie card, or I'm sorry, he was a rookie, and now he's so good that they're going to call him a future star. So that's on the card, and this is a Dansby Swanson. That's his base card as well. And how you know is that on the back, it looks like this. It's got a number up there. So Dansby Swanson's number is 303. And it gives you all of his statistics here, and gives you information about him, a little blurb, telling you about the player. Now, these are both base cards, and the reason I'm showing you this is because Dansby Swanson is a veteran baseball player, and Carter is not. So he has a future star. Now, that's on the base card. It's one of the few variations. It seems like a variation, but it's actually not. That's a base card. There's 350 of them. Again, even this here is a base card. Okay, this is the leaders. So this one is the National League home run leaders last year, and you can see on there we've got all sorts of information about Marcell Ozuna, Shohei Ohtani, and Bryce Harper. Or I'm sorry, Kyle Schwarber. That's a base card. You say, now what are these other cards? Well, then there's something called inserts. And inserts are cards like this one, which is Stars of the MLB. Now, Topps have been doing this for quite a while. They print cards that are part of the set that are not base cards. So they're very common. I would venture to say that this Gunnar Henderson card, okay, is worth more than his base card, but not by much at all. So because if you buy a couple of packs, you'll probably pull one. It's the rarity. Here's a Juan Soto insert. Okay, now if you look at the back of this card, it's vastly different than the base card. Okay, again, up here it has a number, and this one happens to be SMLB 22. So it's telling me that that's the 22nd Stars of the MLB. And you can collect those. It's not difficult if you spend a couple $100 to get all of them. As you can see, I haven't bought too many, and I've got this many so far. I've got plenty of doubles. Okay, I don't sleeve these. I put these in my folders. I mean, they're sleeved, but they're sleeved with in a folder, and not an individual sleeve. So that's an insert. Another insert that Topps does in 2025, which I absolutely, this is my favorite type of insert. is their 2024 All Tops team. So throughout 2024, you've got your All-Stars, and Tops decides, we're going to pick a team too. And so this is Bobby Witt Jr. These are more rare than the Stars of the MLB. A Stars of the MLB comes in every pack. At least that's been my experience. At least one. And then the bigger fat packs and retail hobby packs, sometimes you get 2 or 3. But this one, these are the ones I've pulled so far. I got 4, so they're more rare but still common, if that makes sense. Then you have in this year Call to the Hall, which is just it's kind of neat. This is a Mickey Mantle card, and they have a different back than the base card also. Obviously you're not going to get a Mickey Mantle from 2024, but you're going to get this print here, and that's pretty neat. There's Ricky Henderson. So these are inserts that are part of the set as well, and you can collect all of them. But it's awful difficult because they don't do too many. Now this one here is an insert also. These here, Topps does a 35-year anniversary card for their, 2024 they did a 35-year, 2023 they did a 35-year. This year they're doing a 30. What they do is they reach back 35 years and they print a base card, okay, that is on, it would be 22. So the 1990 Topps, this was what they were printing, the style here in 1995. So this is a parallel technically, not an insert, and it looks like the card. But what they also do is they also reach back. It's actually not. It's kind of between an insert and a parallel, but it is more of an insert because the back of the card is numbered differently. So if you look at the back of the card, it doesn't have the same look as the base card, which wouldn't make it a parallel, make it an insert, because it has a separate number up here, which is T90-76. So it's Ken Griffey from 1990, but it doesn't parallel his 1990 card, just as you would expect. These were a little more popular when I've pulled than the Call to the Hall of Fame. I mean, the neat thing is I got a Mark McGwire here. I watched Mark McGwire play in person, and so it's kind of neat to see. And I also collected cards back in the 90s as well, in the 80s. So that's pretty neat. That's an insert as well. Then you have something that is a little more rare than those, which is the greatest hits. And this is just a review. It's an insert card, so you can collect all of them. It's got its own card number as well, Jackson Holiday, and its greatest hits are just moments that players got, grand slams, home runs, game-changing walk-offs, things like that. Pretty neat. And so you're going to get cards from last year's games. Now, they do have parallels. And what a parallel is I'm going to show you one of the more common parallel cards. So this is a Dansby Swanson parallel. You can see the edge is much different, okay? You can see it's got a little foil border to it, okay? Although the base card itself isn't, or the picture itself on here isn't quite foil, the edges are. And so this is a common one. Now how do I know it's a parallel? Because when I turn the card over, it has similar or exact base card backings. So this card here is a parallel card of the base card. And you can see it's the same picture on the front and everything. Now something neat about 2025 is 2025 base cards have some shiny, sparkly color to them. And some years they don't do that. So for instance, like this one, you can tell here, you can see that there's a lot of sheen, a lot of shine, and some sparkle on the base card, which, you know, does it make them worth more? Probably not, but it is way better looking than I was expecting it to be. So I actually like the look of the base cards. Then you have parallels like this one. So this is a regular, what I would call a rainbow foil, and this is a Garrett Cole. This is a parallel to his base card, and I can tell because the back is this way. So, you know, the foil is going to be worth more than his base card. Now, some people will, in their set that they collect, they will replace the base card with whatever parallel they got. I think that's pretty neat. I don't. I put all of my foil cards and all of my parallels and inserts in penny sleeves or hard top loaders because they are worth more. And you get less of them, so it's easier to keep track. But what I do is I put all of my base cards by number in order here. And once I have all of them, I don't quite have the 350, I'm close. But I keep them in this box here, and then when I get a pack, I put the ones I don't have in there, and then I can compare. So that's one of the parallels. So parallels are worth more than inserts, generally speaking, unless you get one that's autographed or something. Now the next thing I want to show you is the more expensive parallels as we get down the line here. This one here is what's referred to as a crackle. And it's a rainbow foil, but it has crackle to the look. You know, this one of Josh Naylor, again, it's a parallel because the back of the base card is numbered and the picture is the same as the base card. So that's a crackle, and that's a silver crackle. Those are pretty common. Then you get up into less common parallels. So really it's just the color of the parallel that makes the difference. And you have, like this one is the pink parallel. Now sometimes you can only get certain color parallels or certain cards in certain boxes, like a hobby box or a jumbo box, but that's the more, and they have green and blue, different colors as well that are worth even more. Let's see here. Then you have a parallel that's kind of a parallel, but it's in its own category. This is a different photo. And you can tell because the back is here, but it's a base card numbered, but it's different. Okay, so that's worth more than the base card. So what I can tell you is that the reason that I know when I'm looking at the card itself that it's a different photo variation is that, number one, they colorize the back of the base card. So this is his base card, Julio Rodriguez. And you can see on here it's number 266. And that's the card. But this is the photo variation here. So completely different cards. It's a parallel, but it doesn't look like one from the front. So what you have to do is when you're looking through your base cards that you collect, you have to look at the back as well. So it's a neat little variation. Let's see, moving on here. So then you have these gold cards. Now a gold card is special. So it's a parallel of the base as well. So this is Jonathan India. And this card particularly is neat because if you look down here on the back of the card, there's a gold imprint that says 2025 over here. And if you can, there you go, if you can see, it says 1,519 out of 2025. So they only made 2025 of these cards across the entire set, and those are your gold border cards. They do that every year. Last year they made 2024, and so on and so on. They'll do the same thing probably in 2026. But these are parallels that are worth a little more. They are numbered, so you got one of a kind card, even though there are 2,000 more like them. They are worth some money. And then here is an example of a parallel that's worth quite a bit of money because, I mean, in comparison to the base card. This is a Corey Seager foil here it's a green parallel, and I wouldn't call it crackle. Those of you that are a little more into it, I just call this the green rainbow foil. And on the back of this one, they do the same thing. They print only 99 of these green foil cards per player, or at least of Seager. And this is special, so put that in a top loader. Then you have, and I got a couple more things here and then I'm done, but you've got these insert cards that I love these. This is probably my favorite insert of this year. They use the difference between the Grapefruit League and the Cactus League, and they print off, you know, the stars of the league on these cards here. Are they numbered? No, but they're a lot different. They have a nice look to them. They give a nice, interesting blurb on the back in addition to what you can read on the player card. So those are neat, and those are the stars. Those are inserts that I'm trying to collect this year specifically to be able to have a complete set of without buying them online. So like what I did is got this Paul Skeens here. Yeah, they're pretty common. If you know, most collectors will have this set by the end of the month, but I put this one in here just in case I ever go to a baseball game where Paul Skeens is pitching, possibly get his autograph on there, get it graded, so on and so forth. Just because those are worth a little more than the base cards. Now, there is something in there called a memorabilia or a relic or an autograph card. So I brought one that I pulled this year, which is a Nico Horner relic, or as maybe you can refer to it as game memorabilia. So inside this card, it's on a hard case here because this is a very rare card, is, you can see there, I think this is part of his batting glove. So it's Topps certified, number one. It's Topps certified. And this is a game used memorabilia. And as you can look at his glove up close, you can see that it's got the blue, and then this little gray portion here is the stretchy material over the hands for the batting glove. So it's pretty neat. Number one, by itself, if I got that, it'd be worth something. But in addition to that, it's autographed. Now, this is what you would not call an on-card auto, because as you notice there, the tape is on the card, and he had signed the seal or the tape here, and they applied that autograph of his to this card. But the nice thing about this card is A, it's like 150 point thickness, and up here you can see real close, if you look, it's a 1 of 5. They only made 5 of these cards throughout the entire drop, so this one's probably the most rare card I've gotten so far. I'll take it out of the package for you. And I use the magnet cases. I put a sleeve, a penny sleeve, before I put it in there, just as an extra layer. And so if you look at the card, you can see that it's really thick compared to a regular card. And it's like almost styrofoam or paper or something in there. But anyway, that's the card itself. These cases here only cost $1 or $2 at most card shops. I'm not sure how much they are on Amazon. I have a local card shop that's amazing at having everything all the time. So there you go. You've got your base cards, you've got your foils, your parallels, your inserts, your relics, and that's it. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know. I'll try to address them.